Who the told you to do that?
Here comes the domestic violence, y'all. Just be ready. We didn't put a warning up.
You keep your pretty eyes over there.
That's how they get you. With compliments, they fool you. You know.
I learned from the best.
That's
All
crazy.
Right. So, I picked this one because it was interesting because of society and expectations of mothers and stuff like that. So, am I the asshole for refusing full custody of my daughter after my husband asked for a divorce?
I'm gonna like this one.
31 female, have been together with my husband Alex, 33 male, for 7 years, married for 4. Alex was always really excited about the prospect of children from the beginning of our relationship. I was always on the fence. I've seen how hard single mothers have it. I promised myself I'd never be in that position. Plus, I work as a software engineer. I love my career and I didn't want to give it up to be a mom. After Alex and I got married, those fears went away. We were very much in love. I felt safe with him. I told him my fears and he said all the right things to make them vanish. So we
I'm here. I'm
So
listening.
we tried for a baby and had our daughter Ramona 2 years ago. I'm sorry, 2 years after we got married.
Okay, so she's still a baby. Well, little toddler at this point.
The pregnancy and first year with the baby was extremely hard on me. I had multiple health problems during and after the pregnancy that were life-threatening and altered my body permanently.
Damn.
That's pregnancy usually, because
No, altered her body permanently.
this is permanent.
It's not permanent.
Anyway, shut up. He's on my side. You don't have to shut up. I was disabled. I was disabled and nearly died once in the 6 months after I gave birth. And during this time, my husband grew distant and became angry frequently when we speak. I think spoke.
Sounds like a big ass fucking change. But
Yeah. I spent a lot of time in and out of the hospital and was unable to work. So a lot of the baby care went to him during this time. It was all I could do to stay alive and get better, being separated from my daughter and husband so much. Eventually, I did get better enough to help more with the baby. But after I was discharged from the hospital, he barely spoke to me. I want to clarify early that at no time did I ever neglect our daughter if I was able to care for her. I leaned on him a lot during this period, but I also was fighting for my health and my life so that I could continue to be there for her.
Okay.
Which is, what you're supposed
Totally
to do.
understandable.
Right.
Can't help no one else if you don't help yourself.
If I had pushed myself too hard, I would have made it worse or be dead. We
Doesn't help
stayed
anybody.
Right. We stayed in a state of limbo like this for a while. I was still in recovery, not back to 100% yet, but able to resume a somewhat normal life, and we shared more responsibility with Ramona. I hate that name, by the way. Don't like it. I tried talking to him many times over the next 6 months, but it was more of the same thing. He wouldn't speak to me, or he'd get angry at every little thing I did. She put and. Insist I was making things up and blame me for somehow criticizing him. It was a constant deflection from whatever was bothering him. I got another job.
Continue, please.
No.
I don't understand why.
Shut
you
up.
Stopped. Okay.
It was a constant deflection. See, you made me lose my damn spot. Shut up before I give you something to cry for.
Are you a black mom from the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got another job about 9 months after the pregnancy, and things seemed to improve for a while, or at least I thought. Not long after Ramona's first birthday, Alex served me with divorce papers. He said he'd fallen out of love with me a long time ago, and he was ready to start anew. I was in shock. Things had started to improve between us.
That was very unexpected.
Things had started to improve between us, but he explained that was because he decided to leave and he felt less unhappy. It was a Saturday when this happened, so I made sure he was going to be home to care for Ramona for the weekend. Then I packed the bag and left until Sunday evening. I didn't say where I was going. You good?
Yes.
Would you like a sip?
No, thank you.
You can have the rest.
Why did it sound like Mike just shat himself?
It sound like he bust his ass. Would you
Sound
like the rest?
He bust his shat.
Move the table.
He shat himself. No, thank you.
I drove. I didn't say where I was going, and truthfully, I didn't really go anywhere but drive. I drove 2 states over by the time I stopped. I needed to think. When I got back Sunday evening, he was pissed. Why are you doing that?
Well, she needed to think.
Okay. When I got back Sunday evening, he was pissed I'd left him alone with our daughter. He always seemed really off-put anytime he had to care for her alone. This time was no exception. Boy, get the fuck over it. You're a father.
This motherfucker had... What's that thing that they... No. Never mind.
What?
I was going to say, this dude got postpartum depression. They can't... I'm not going to say they can't, but to my knowledge, they can't.
It's not the same as when a mother has it, but it's they can.
Depression after having a baby, postpartum depression.
I mean, it makes sense to me. But I don't want to say yes because then I'll get that message like, oh, no, you can't, stupid. Oh, my God. Ooh.
I sat him down and very carefully...
The continuation.
I sat him down and very carefully said, I will grant you a no contest divorce. But I am not accepting full custody of Ramona. If he was only pissed before, he was explosive now. And everything he hated about me finally came out.
Damn.
That I was a horrible mother.
You ugly bitch.
That I wasn't strong enough to even be a mother.
Your coochie smell like firewater.
That I was too weak to carry a child.
I've always hated you and your third nipple.
And now I was abandoning her. I very calmly stated that I loved her dearly and would not abandon her. That I would pay child support and visit her every other weekend. That I would be there for her in any way I could. But I had been very clear with him when we got married that I would never be a single mother. He became borderline violent at this, grabbing things. Yes, Mike.
Let her finish. Let her. Let her. No. Let her finish.
Oh
don't just let it finish. Go ahead. It looks like she's at the end.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, there's comments, but I'll finish the story. What was it? Where was I?
Stupid.
Borderline
He
violent.
he became borderline violent at this, grabbing things like he was going to throw them and screaming that I was ruining his life on purpose.
Okay.
I was going to stick around. I wasn't going to stick around to be talked to like this. So I went and checked on Ramona, gave her a kiss, grabbed my bag, and left again. A couple of days later, his mother texted me. He'd left Ramona with her for a few days, and she had some nasty things to say to me.
Mm-hmm.
That a mother should never leave her child, etc. I told her it wasn't her business, and that her son doesn't get a free pass to restart his life because his wife nearly died when she was pregnant, and he became resentful with the responsibility.
And her coochie stink.
He's also blown up my phone asking when I'm coming back so you can take care of your daughter, but I've only replied, I've already told you what's going to happen here. I love my daughter immensely, and I will be a provider for her. I will always support her, but I will not be her primary parent. So, am I the asshole?
Yes.
I can guarantee that there's going to be some mixed comments, and if there's not, then you didn't grab the good ones. But I got stuff to say.
Yes.
Woo!
So Mike says she is the asshole.
Oh, Mike's not in the show.
But go ahead.
But
Fuck that. This is my show. Y'all are my actors.
that's crazy.
So I'm gonna speak, goddammit. You are still a single fucking mom. You're just not the primary parent. It's stupid.
Well, she did say Literally all of
No,
that.
at the end, yes, he did. She did say I'm not the primary parent, but
That's semantics.
up at the top, she did say I'm not going to be a single mother. If you get divorced, regardless if you give your kid up or not, you are a single mom.
person who has parented a
She's
child.
she's saying it in the sense of what they do, not the
She's
title
not going to take
alone.
care of the child by herself.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get that
In
part.
terms of optics, she gives a fuck about what her peers, friends, and community say about how it looks for her to be single
Yes.
raising a child on her own.
That's exactly what
I
she's saying.
I don't dispute that she's not wrong for putting her foot down and saying, "Hey, nigga, you gonna take care of this kid too?" But her reasoning behind it isn't valid. It's not, "Hey, we're in this together. You're leaving me high and dry. You need to be responsible." It's, "I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to do this." You don't get to make the, y'all are parents. I'm a parent. It don't fucking matter. If Ashley up and left you today, right? Would you even argue? Fuck no. I'm a parent. I'm not. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. Your show.
So
It's a Facebook topic for me.
oh yeah, this is definitely a whole Facebook topic. So for me, is she the asshole? I'm gonna tell you that I can't give a yes or a no, but what I am gonna tell you is I'm leaning towards no. The reason why is I'm a firm believer in if I told you what it was in the beginning, don't start feeling a different type of way when everything I told you from the beginning starts to show its face in the end. Don't do it. You can do it, but trust me, you don't want to. Because it's not going to change what I think or what I feel. One thing in relationships that is a big damager is people assume you will change over time. People do change over time. That's a guarantee. We're humans. If it's very slight or if it's significant, we all change over time. We can't stop that. You get older, your brain works differently. Just change is inevitable. But if this is something that they were 10 toes down on, if this is something that they made clear in the beginning and have not changed their stance, bro, you knew what the classic line, you knew what this was. Now, when it gets to that point of we're married and all that stuff, and you've still been, iffy on it, but you want a baby, so because we are a family, I will trust you and we can have a baby. We can have this family you want. Okay. It kind of sounds like you're doing this for your husband. Okay.
Oh, that definitely would have sounded like in the beginning.
So, okay. Should you have a kid for somebody else? Fuck no. That is, unless it's a surrogacy situation, don't do that. But I can totally understand why someone that's married that plans to spend the rest of their life with somebody would do that. I still would say fuck no, because you could do it and you could hate the child, or you could hate being a parent, and you're stuck with the child. So you screwed yourself. But
Well,
it seems like
you
she's
could get
more
the kid up
so
for adoption, but
on you can, but can y'all?
true.
Like if one doesn't but the other, then yeah. But if this is something that you didn't want from Jump Street, then that's okay. I get that. Now her whole thing was I don't want to be a single mom. I'll never be a single mom, and it is semantics in this one because I know she means more of the concept and not the exact title. Because in the end, she goes, I will not be the primary parent.
Yeah.
And the way we look at a single mom is just, when someone says it, it's primary parent. And for the main part, yeah. So, when it gets down to Mr. I wanted a kid so bad, got a kid, oh, I didn't plan for, you to be medically fucked up, because why would you? It just happens to people, so you wouldn't do that. But when it got to that point,
Through sickness and
now I'm angry and I'm upset with you because you're sick, or I'm upset with you because you're medically fucked up, and the baby has been put upon you, and she made it clear, I hope she's telling the truth, but she's made it clear that whenever she could, she made sure she had her child, took care of the child, and et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, that's all you can do. Like I said earlier, can't help anybody else until you help yourself. And we're talking medical, so she really can't help anybody else until she helps herself. But then we get to the point where you're like, I want a divorce. and the whole good mom and all that shit comes out, it's like, okay. One, old boy sounds like he is a selfish dumbass.
He sounds like he's mad
Dumbass.
because he didn't get his fairy tale of what it was going to be like to have a
Yep, that's
baby with
exactly
his
what it
wife.
sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. Two, he, well, that actually goes to what you just said. I was going to say he's an extremely unrealistic person. But, like you said, fairy tale life, fairy tale wife, fairy tale kids, I don't know. All I know is he ain't get it. And three, when it comes to her, she made it clear in the beginning. If this was something that happened on accident, that's one thing. And them being married honestly doesn't change anything for me. In fact, it actually makes it worse on his end for me. Because if I make it clear I don't want kids in the beginning, or I'm really iffy on kids in the beginning, and then you stay with me, and you stay with me, and you stay with me, and I've gained trust with you, and gained trust with you, and then we get married. So now we've made the big leap, the big commitment, and we're still together, stayed with you, and everything is great, peachy, all that. And then the talk of kids comes back up, and the only reason I do this is because I feel comfortable with you enough and secure enough that we can do this. Now my mind has changed because we can do this. So I have the baby. Obviously, neither of them planned for those medical complications, but they happen. And in the end of this, I get served divorce papers, which means that we will not be together anymore. We will not be a unit, and we will have this child separately at times. I will have her alone. You will have her alone. We will not be the family. The only reason I even opted in to create a human was because we were together, and you made me feel secure, and you basically said, we're in this, and don't worry, I've got you, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Because we all knew he said all the right things, whatever. So
Yeah.
cool. And now we're not there. Now we're back to the beginning area where I said I'm not going to be a single mom. So I'm not taking 100% cut. First off, him being upset that she won't take 100% custody, if anybody in the comments or whatever, anybody, even ugly ass Mike, if anybody
I don't see why he got brought
says
into this.
anything about her not taking full custody, you're fucking stupid. Because she never said she's not doing 50-50. She never said that. She said, I will not take 100% custody. That's totally okay. That is perfectly fine. There are two parents in this.
The problem with that is she did specifically say that I will see her every other weekend.
That's still 50-50
That's
custody.
not 50-50. Who's taking care of the kid during the week?
I got you. I know a family that has this, and it's drawn up in the court system in this way, but they make it so, well, you have to make it so that way it works, and it has to already be fully like, okay, this is set and that's set and this is set, and that's the only way that we're going to allow it to be every other weekend, that type of thing or whatever. But even with that, let's say that was never made, because technically it wasn't, because she said it before they wrote down any type of paperwork or wrote up any paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I never said that I'm taking, I said I'm not taking 100% custody. I don't want to be like, oh, she never even said 50-50. Not going to even do that. She also made it clear that she'd pay child support. Mm-hmm. And upon paying child support, she will have her every other weekend. I'm letting you know now, not paying child support if it's 50-50. That's not happening. So if it does happen, she's saying this and every other weekend. That is a clear, what is the word? A clear understanding that I will not be the primary parent, nor will I have her half the time. So her saying that, that's a clear indication. I will pay child support. Mm-hmm. I'm not paying child support if it's 50-50. Obviously not 100 either. But
no,
if it's 50-50,
you're both supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm not paying child support. Can you? Yes, they can make you pay child support. But I'm not doing that. So if I'm going to willingly pay child support, I'm letting you know the only reason is because I will be farther away from the primary and I won't even be a 50-50.
Ah,
Nasty ass fly. Anywho, with all that being said, I lean more towards not the asshole because it seems like one of those. Not that she was tricked into it, but more so you did it for somebody else. You gave them what they wanted, and they didn't want it anymore. They got it and was like, not for me.
they're both
And
the
then
asshole to me.
when it goes down to the end, I don't follow that whole.
He's just a bigger asshole.
I don't follow the whole because she's a mom. She was supposed to be. She has like stipulations that she has to follow, and because he's the
No,
dad.
and when people
no.
when men leave in a relationship, it's always
Yes,
the
it's
woman
like,
is supposed to take the kid. That's the
Yeah.
default thing. And she's pushing against that, and she's like, no,
It's
that's
not-
not
yeah.
what's gonna happen. I made
Not
it clear.
gonna be me.
But also at the same time, I feel like if this was how you felt, you shouldn't have had a kid. Period. You should not have a kid because nothing is guaranteed. So regardless of you being with your husband and he, in the beginning, you said, I'm still on the fence. But my husband wants kids. And everything after that made it just seem like you had a kid for your husband. That is a terrible reason to have a child. You shouldn't have had the
Absolutely.
kid
I agree.
if you. Because actually,
Question.
I'm gonna read the comments though because somebody asked what I was about to say.
But before you read the comments, my question was, what? Oh, I think I just forgot it. Damn. What? Aside from what was her reason for having the child? What did she write as her reasons or reason? Like at the time of I'm okay with it.
She
What
said,
was
I
the
love my
verbiage?
career, didn't want to give it up to be a mom.
Mhm.
After Alex and I got married, those fears went away. We
Okay.
were in love.
Okay.
I felt safe with him,
Okay.
and he said all the right things to make the fears vanish.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
So she had the baby, she got ill, and that was the issue.
It's
That-
honestly,
that-
it seems like
That
her
he had
getting
to
sick.
take care of the baby pretty much on his
Yeah.
own. That's what he had a problem with.
It seems like her getting sick
Because it seemed
was
like
a problem for him.
Yeah.
So
That's fucking wild to
so
me.
Before you get into the comments, right, I want to paint the scenario properly.
Mhm.
Just reverse the roles real quick, okay? If it was a matter of she had this baby, right? She
Mhm.
had her illness, she got sick, she had her surgeries. She hit a then he everything's going fine for her actually. She doesn't have any injuries.
He
gets
does.
injured at work. Okay?
Mhm.
He can no longer provide the lifestyle for you. So now
Mhm.
you, because he's injured, have to be primary parent and
Mhm.
primary breadwinner. Okay?
Mhm.
That is
Mhm.
not what you signed up for. That was not the expectation.
Mhm.
You also, as a woman, have to deal with postpartum depression. In fact, both of us do. We just handle it differently, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
now you're going through all of these things, just like he's going through all of these things. The only difference is while you're going through it and while he's going through it, you can't rash his shit because he's fucking injured and unable.
Mhm.
You can't
Mhm.
rash your shit because you're injured and unable.
Mhm.
However, he's dealing with all of it by himself for
Mhm.
however long, and then you get better, and all of a sudden, well, I don't want to be primary parent. She's the asshole.
Whoa, you skipped the part. She gets better, and then now I want a divorce.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's how it happened. I think she's omitting a lot of information here.
I'm not gonna assume.
Here's
We
why-
can
here's
only
why
go
I
off
feel
of
that way.
what she gave.
Like you said, a clear indication that she has no intention of actually parenting and mothering this child is I want to be there every other weekend.
Yeah, she
That's
made that
not
very
something
clear.
You say when you want to be a parent. You fight for custody. You
Hold
fight
on.
to see your child.
She didn't want to be a parent.
Then she shouldn't
We should-
have
we
had
start
She
with
shouldn't
that.
have had a. She
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's
have
what
had
I
a
said.
kid.
She made it
Said
clear.
the right things is a clear indication that he also did the right things. So he said and did the right things. The circumstances changes, and he's not allowed to have any emotional response to that. However, she is.
No, you can't go there either because he got a divorce. Having an emotional response to that is one thing. If we get into an argument, we get into an argument. If this whole situation changes the dynamic but really messes us up, but we don't get a divorce, we need to figure out how to fix that. But if one of us says, well, all this stuff happened, like them, and blah, 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 and then it's time to end this, that's not just an emotional response. You're done. See, being allowed to have an emotional response,
You're done
you
with
can always
me.
do that.
You're not done
But
with your child, though.
but what I'm saying is, you said he's not allowed to have an emotional response. If we're in a relationship and you want to have an emotional response, have it.
Right.
Go ahead and have it.
I'm
He's
not saying
ending the relationship, bro.
Because she's
That's not having
she's
it.
not willing to compromise. She's not even trying. It doesn't even sound to me like she's willing to be a 50-50 parent. It sounds
No,
like,
oh, she made that clear.
and that's 100%.
Every
But
other
also,
weekend,
he doesn't
child
want to
support.
be. He doesn't want to be a 50-50
He doesn't want
parent
to be
either.
a primary parent.
I don't think.
He never said 50-50.
Well, we don't know his side,
It
but
doesn't
Yeah.
sound like he's
But when
complaining
she
about her
said-
about what he has to do, it's about him having to do her part too. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I get from it like
no,
him
but
having to do
no,
everything.
because
Okay,
when
that's
she
one thing.
said whenever he has to be alone with her, he has a problem with it.
Now, after how many months of you being unable to take care of your child, how long have I had to pick up the slack? And now I'm mentioning it because I can and you're better, and you're still like, you're just used to it.
How soon did he ask for the divorce? After she got better?
Almost a year.
And almost a
Because
year
it
later,
said
he took...
she said she got a job after 9 months.
Okay,
9 months after the pregnancy,
okay.
and then things seemed to get better after a while. Then after the baby's first birthday,
So 3
then
months
he
later.
served her with divorce papers.
I'm telling
Okay,
you, he realized she
so-
wasn't shit and filed them damn papers.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you.
So 9 months she got a job. She was there. What she said was she was there any moment she could be. Then 9 months she got a job. So now the bread's being brought in from both, and she's still there when she could be. And then 3 months later, divorce papers. So
And it says he's
What-
always seemed really put off anytime he had to care for her alone. And this time was no exception when she left for the weekend.
okay, so there's definitely resentment. That's
Oh, yeah,
clear,
that's-
right?
that's definitely.
He's definitely got resentment, and it definitely stems from the whole.
The tone of a woman who wants to come home and change diapers after work.
I'm not gonna assume that.
No,
if
no,
we're
but-
gonna if we're gonna go off of, so what I'm doing is going off of the facts of what I have right there.
What
I'm
I'm
not
saying
gonna
is
go
I need
off
to go
of
to
any
the comments
assumptions.
so you guys can
Oh,
really see.
she goes into the comments
Yes.
too.
Oh, say what? Start
Oh.
there.
That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to get there. All right.
It's a juicy one.
So-
it's crazy.
Somebody said, honestly, when it comes to your daughter, I feel like you are both the asshole.
That part.
Fair.
You both made a decision to bring her into this world, and now it seems like you both don't want to have anything to do with her if it's full time.
better bring it to the fire station.
You are not.
I'm just saying.
She's one. You can't do that.
I mean, I'm just
You are
saying.
not the asshole for leaving your soon-to-be ex-husband, as he clearly has major issues that he needs to work on, and needs to remember his vows in sickness and in health.
That's where
Oh.
I have the issue.
Yes, OP, I understand what you're saying here. Some thoughts from my end that may be met with varied reactions. I do want a lot to do with her, but I really can't handle this alone, period. This is a decision that has her best interests in mind. I didn't plan on to have my health all
She didn't plan on being fucked up.
I didn't plan on to have my health altered in this way. I didn't plan to have a husband who so desperately wanted a child abandon me. If some other drastic event had happened and put me in this circumstance, it's likely I might have given her up. As much as I love her, I will crumble having to handle her by myself. That's not fair to her or not logical for either of our long-term survivals. So going forward, there has to be a solution. No. So going forward, there has to be a situation where he cares for her or we find someone else who can. There's two more.
She did that because she knows that we was.
Yes,
I was-
there's
I was
two
at the
more.
wedding.
All I heard was,
Yo.
if we ain't together, I'm not here for this kid. That's all I heard.
Mike, you clearly need to come up here because you better make sure the words on here are in the right color, not white, to cover this desk.
Next, not the asshole. So he wants a divorce without the kid so that he could be single and enjoy his life.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize that.
Yes.
Oh no, Mike! Fuck what
Wait
you
a
had to
minute.
say.
Wait
But go
a
ahead.
minute. Whereas you will be a single mother, seeing your medical condition, it should not be ideal for you to have full custody either. It will be difficult for both you and your daughter. Don't ever agree for this. OP, yes, this seems to be his MO. Part of me thinks he had this idealized version of how life would go after having a child.
That's what he
And when
said.
that didn't happen, he got it in his head to go start over with someone else. I'm not so disabled I can't be a wife, if you know what I mean.
Go
But
ahead.
But
We're never finishing this one.
Like, yeah,
This segment
fuck it, y'all ain't
this
getting
gonna be
next episode. We gotta
2
go.
hours. Like, yo,
This
go
is an
ahead.
hour video right
That's facts.
Like,
Big facts.
I need to
Go
mic
ahead.
me up. Where's the mic?
That's crazy. Mic me up, Scotty.
I'm not so disabled that I can't be a wife, if you know what I mean. I think she means sexual, whatever. But my life did get a bit harder since giving birth, and managing my health takes more effort.
Has she been clear about what her health issues are?
No.
But that's fine.
Last
As long
comment.
as her things are severe enough, all we can go off is what the information we got. Go ahead.
Last comment. Somebody said, would you have abandoned her if he had died?
Yo.
There's the lock-in.
Yeah. That's me.
Now that's a lawyer question right there. I need to ask the question that I can guarantee you can't answer with a good answer.
What was her?
Because if you say no, you're a liar. And if you say yes, you're a monster. There's no way out of this.
OP says,
this is a catch-22.
I would have given her up for adoption
Oh, well.
and
shit.
offer my financial support to the parents, but not abandon her. It's illogical to bring my mind and body as tools to provide for her when I could give her part of my resources and both of us be healthy and happy apart.
So,
What good would I be to her if I was unable to work by the time she was 8 or 10 years old?
So she's saying that in the sense of her medical condition.
If she still had the medical conditions.
Okay. Was that the last
That was the last comment that I...
Woo! Hold, please. So, bro, off rip, no matter what you say about her, no matter what you say, you need to keep in mind that old boy wanted to start over. And you need to keep in mind that he said this before she said the 100%, the 50-50, all that shit. He said that before.
He said he'd fallen out of love with me a long time ago and he's ready to start anew.
Bro, no matter how you think or all the cap from her, if that line is official, bro, you were done already, and you're expecting her to take 100% custody. He is giving up on her too. He's giving up on the baby too.
at what point in
So
time is he saying, hey, I want to pay child support and only see my child every other week?
not once.
Not once. Right?
At one point in time,
I
did
don't
he
think-
say he will take 50-50?
Hear me out. I think the reason he fell out of love with her is because she's a terrible mother.
You're coming up with that out of nowhere.
not.
She's giving you nothing for that. She could be a
I'm telling you what she's
100%
giving
liar,
you.
fam. She could be lying
She could be
100%.
lying a lot,
That's
but
true.
here's
She
what
could.
She has given me, okay? She has given me, even if my spouse died, I wouldn't say, hey, I'm going to go above and beyond for my child, which I think every other parent would, right? She hasn't said, hey, maybe I'll marry somebody else. Maybe I'll find another provider, somebody else to raise a child with. That's not an option.
You're wildin'.
How?
Bro, if a person loves their child but knows that they can't provide for the child and they are willing to give up the child
It's not that
and
she
still,
can't.
hold
She doesn't
on,
wanna break her body to do it.
and will still give her resources and try to be in the child's life, there's no way you're telling me that they don't love their kid, one. And two, that is a clear indication that they have thought about this and made it clear to themselves they cannot provide for the child. This is not I don't think I can. In their head, they cannot do for the child to give the child the best life that the child would possibly have. So their alternative is, as a single mother or father, their alternative is to give the child up for adoption and go from there. We're going to run out of camera time with this. But yeah.
The problem
go
here,
ahead.
what makes her the asshole after I just reread it, the medical was a curveball that was thrown in there.
Yeah.
Before any of this happened, before she even got pregnant, she made it clear, no matter what, I'm not being a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
She's
all
using the
wrong.
medical shit as an excuse. Regardless if this medical shit happened or not, like she said
So
at the
if
end,
the
would you
medical
have abandoned
didn't
her?
happen,
She
if
still
she
would have
would've
done
stuck
this.
to the- yeah, okay.
She still would have done this.
Mm-hmm.
You're the asshole. They're both the asshole. At the end of the day, both of them the asshole.
I'm still sticking with, I told you what it was from Jump Street.
No, you're not wrong.
No, you're
I'm
not
saying-
wrong, but at the
I
same
firmly
time, it was
agree
her
with you on a lot of
decision.
what you're saying.
It was
But
her decision to have a kid, though.
Yeah.
If that's how you felt so firmly,
You shouldn't
you
have
know
it.
that there is a possibility, regardless if he was, oh, it's okay, we'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. There was a possibility, like that person said, what if he died?
Then what?
You know that that's a possibility that your husband could die any day. You knew that you wasn't going to be a single mother, so you was going to give this kid up regardless of what happened.
Can I add to your point? When you got sick and couldn't take care of your child, who the fuck stepped up and did? Your husband.
She should not. All of this would have been avoided if she just would not have had a kid. You didn't want a kid from the very beginning, and you let your husband convince you to have a child. You should have stuck to your. There's many people who have broken up over this. I don't want to have kids, but I do, and they kept going forward with their relationship. But that one person was like, "I'm not having kids." I made that very clear.
I will also add that she got a job 9 months after she was pregnant, which means she's capable of working. So what? You can't get childcare? You can't get a better job? You absolutely can. You just don't want to. Your level of try hard is 0.
I can guarantee you, if we were up there, the comments would
the comments
fucking
gonna go nuts on
roast.
this one.
They would roast.
No,
him.
we have to push
No,
this.
no.
Only because of the things that you're saying are literally triggers for single parents, for people that do have it hard, and for the people that actually have tried and have failed at all the things that you're saying. It's an instant, because I know, like, my sister would have been back when she couldn't do what she needed to do, if she couldn't do what she needed to do. That's crazy, because I definitely went blah, 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 blah 8 times and da-da-da-da, and it couldn't do it. He needs to realize that it doesn't work like that for everyone.
The difference is, though,
like,
they're trying.
No, I'm just saying in the comments specifically.
Yeah, but the difference is what he's saying is at least try. Yeah. She's not trying. She's just immediately, I'm not taking care of this.
Information that she tried.
Here's going to always be my clap back on that, right? Every single time I've ever had a conversation with women, single, married, no matter what, about having a child with a man, they all come to the same fucking consensus. Generally, consent for childbirth begins at fucking sticking your dick in for men.
Oh my god.
Okay?
Absolutely.
For men. So it starts there for women too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I, the man, say, hey, I don't want to be around for no kids, and you decide to have our baby and I leave, everybody in the world will unanimously agree that I am the asshole. But in this scenario, she's not the asshole. We have to look at it like nuance. There's no fucking nuance here. She's a shitty parent.
Okay.
Period.
So
I honestly, at the end of the day, I feel bad for the kid.
I feel terrible for the kid.
Because neither one of them.
Grandma.
So, now that y'all got all that good stuff out, I'm gonna make this clear. Right?
There's no way around both of them not being the asshole.
I'm gonna make this clear. Right? There's a reason why I'm gonna say, because I just thought about it even more. There's a reason why I'm gonna say she's not the asshole.
You're wild.
Usually I don't. I just like to go with logic. Usually, but this is a different kind of scenario that I can't just go with logic. But there's one big ass thing that's making me go towards the not the asshole, and it is an event in my past that has happened with, I'm gonna say recent past, that has happened with a person that I love, and that person went through what they went through, and the way they went through it was, I don't want to say,
you don't have to be vague. You can talk about it if you want.
I'd prefer not to, but yeah, that person went through something that psychologically, in my opinion, from the outside looking in, was out of their control. So, with that being said, right?
I was thinking of that too.
Yeah. With that being said, I'm thinking of this situation, and the way it looks is it goes right back to, nah, but we're talking about a kid. Which, okay, we're talking about a kid. That changes everything. No, it does not for me. Because if you feel you are not capable of doing what you need to do for a child, then you are actually a better person for doing what needs to be done. Which, if that's considered to be, like a fucking heroin addict who doesn't plan on getting off or doesn't have the strength to get off of heroin, gives their baby up, I'm actually going to congratulate them, you piece of shit. But I'm going to congratulate them for separating that. But this is not a heroin addict, so I don't want to go there. But what the key thing that makes me say the not an asshole is because of the husband. At one point, I heard you say he convinced, and then I heard him dying is always a possibility. But the one thing that both of us, both you guys, I'm surprised it didn't pop up, is we're married. At no point, unless you bring it up and we're talking about it specifically, at no point am I thinking about the life I have without her or you without her at all. And when it comes up, it's when it has to come up. And
I'm thinking about
happens.
that. I'm not going to sit here and...
Hold on. I can have an idea on it, but I'm not sitting here planning it out. I'm not doing that at all. I can say the whole, what if it happens, whatever, but that's an afterthought, because one, I'm not thinking about that for too long because I love you, and just the thought of it can be damaging. But when it comes to that piece, and then you add in what he did, first and foremost, that's manipulation. And I'm saying it's manipulation. His convincing was manipulation. We're good at what we do, gentlemen. We're good. I say it's manipulation because he went from, oh, I want the life of having a child and blah, blah, blah. I want the family. To, well, you've been damaged and you haven't helped me enough, regardless of if you are or are not capable. So I want to start anew, because we keep forgetting that the dude did not say, I want a divorce with you and we need to do this together. Bro, I want to start anew.
He pretty much said he wants to throw the whole family away.
You have to take 100% custody. Hold on, bro. You have to take 100% custody. I want to start anew.
I'm just not taking one.
No, he said he wants to start anew.
Yes, no
he
kid.
Wants to start anew. Did he say, I want you to take 100% custody?
We don't. No, he didn't say that.
He says, I don't want to take 100% custody.
I want to start anew.
Doesn't mean I don't want to take care of my.
But you also no. But there was a point where she said, "I'm not." When she said, "I will grant you." Where is it? I will grant you a no contest divorce.
No contest divorce.
Yes, but I'm not accepting full custody. He said.
There it is. I'm not accepting full custody. It had to have been said.
Yes,
yep. That's what I did. But
he did say, "You're ruining my life."
That makes it even worse. That can be taken either way. But when we're talking, if we was to go on the legal route, bro, no. Because if you was a lawyer or the prosecutor and I'm hitting you with this, bro, I'm not accepting 100% custody. The only reason, unless it was said before it even finished, the only reason I'm saying I'm not accepting is because you said, I want to start anew, but I want you to take the baby.
You also have to take it.
If you didn't say that, you're giving context that's what you mean,
His reaction too, though, he became violent, started throwing things, and screamed.
Listen, I need you guys to understand. My theory here very firmly relies on the idea that she never wanted to be a mom, and her behavior around.
That's not an idea. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. This child, since from the time of being pregnant to the time of the child being born, all the way to the first year, is that of a person who never wanted to have a child.
I can't assume that because that's not what she said.
I have to assume that because all of
but
this
then that skews the entire story. Because if that's the case, if you can only go off of the information.
Why would she get on the internet, right, where she's trying to shit on this man and say anything that makes validity to his claim? You get what I'm saying? And
there's three sides to a story. I get that.
None of this is, while I was sick, here's what he did with the kid. We just skipped that whole shit. We skipped 9 months.
She said while I was sick, he took care of the child.
Yeah.
And then after
I'm going to assume that is doing everything that's needed to take care of the child.
Now, I just don't think she's a motherly woman.
But she also said within that 9 months, she took care of the child when she could. When she was capable. She said that. She said she took care of it when she was capable. Then 9 months later. See, and that's what I'm saying, bro. You are making these things up because we don't have that information.
I am going off of.
You have to have more information. If this was
she said a lot of the baby care went to him.
So that's not even. So she never even said 100%. She said a lot of the baby care went to him. So while she's sick, she still did her part.
She said she was in and out of the hospital a lot, unable to work, and a lot of baby care went to him.
I'm not assuming anything. I'm only gonna go off of.
Assuming.
See, when you do that, the reason why I'm not assuming is because doing so makes you look a certain way, and I never, ever, never want to look a way that I am not. So what I mean by that is we got a story, we got the info, and we're going off of the info. The second you go to the root of, nah, she's a piece of shit, didn't want to take care of the kid, and I know that she's lying about this whole thing. Bro, you look like you hate women, bro.
No.
You look like you hate mom. But that's what it looks like.
Doesn't matter if that's
because it sounds like that. You're creating things that weren't there.
And that's people assuming, right? Because they're using inference clues from what I'm saying. But what I'm actually
you gave them
just cut off. But what I'm essentially saying is, what I'm essentially saying is, right, either he is a complete asshole who doesn't want to stick around because she got sick and he's just a terrible fucking person,
Yes.
which is what I have to assume based off of what she's saying.
Or she's a fucking liar, straight
or
out.
she's leaving information out. The man himself, the way that she's described his actions and his literal action response to her being sick is that of a husband, a father, and a provider. What she is describing is that of a quitter for herself. At no point in time is she willing to step up and above and beyond for her child, which is what you. If her child was going down the raft in the fucking river, about to go over a waterfall, oh fucking well, there's nothing I can do. I'm jumping in. You're jumping in. Ashley's jumping in.
That's not what she gave.
But also
when you give that example of what you said, everything she said in there says she's jumping into.
But also remember what he said
wrong.
to her. He said that she was a horrible mother and wasn't strong enough to even be a mother, and that she was too weak to carry a child.
To carry a child.
Yep.
See, no. Now hold on. That also goes to him being a piece of shit, bro. She's a horrible mother. Okay, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. She. What was the second thing? She was a horrible mother.
Too weak to carry a child.
No. That was the last thing.
Not strong enough to be a mother.
So you're a horrible mother. That's behind the scenes. She could be a piece of shit. She's not strong enough. She's not strong enough mentally. She's made that clear the whole time. But the last one makes it clear he's a piece of shit. And you were too weak to carry a child.
What did she say to him?
Bro, it doesn't matter.
It does.
You are too weak to carry a child is specifically saying all this medical shit that happened to you because you got pregnant, you are too weak. Like literally, physically too weak. Bro, why am I bringing that up?
But here's why it matters, right? Because
oh my God, she can't control that part. So how does it matter?
Get into a fight or a verbal altercation, and Ashley pulls up a knife, right? And you say to Ashley, "Yo, if you stab me with that knife, I'm gonna hit you in your head." And she tells the story. Marquis said he's gonna hit me in his head. What she says matters, right?
Absolutely,
okay,
it matters in the sense of
you are a weak individual. All of that tells me I don't want to be a mom. I don't want to be a mom. You know, you're too fucking weak-minded to be a mom any fucking way. That's what that sounds like to me.
I mean, she made it clear she didn't want to be a single mom.
She didn't want to be a mom.
But in this conversation, he's asking for a divorce. This was never a conversation where they were fully together. No one was talking about divorce. And she was ready to give up. At no point was that.
Bad mom for 1
in
year
fact,
straight.
she never indicated she didn't want to be a mom up until.
She indicated she didn't
Listen.
After
After he convinced her or manipulated her, since we're gonna, come up with our own theories. After he manipulated her to have this child because they're a family, and I'm not going to assume my husband's gonna leave me, especially after I give him what he wants. After that happened, she at no point gave an indication that she did not want to fuck with this child. At no point. In fact, she said everything that made him look like a great provider and her look like a good mother. Because the medical stuff is something that couldn't be fucking controlled. She said, I did what I could when I can. But she had a medical...
No, she did say...
people died from that.
No, but she did say that if she had pushed herself too hard, it could have made her health condition worse, or it could have pushed her to die.
So you said if she pushed she pushed herself too hard,
it could have made it worse, whatever she had, or be dead.
Or be dead.
Yeah, and remember, she was in and out of the hospital.
Yeah, and then she was just like, that doesn't help anybody. So she had to go in and out of the hospital. So she would have. But you see his face? It doesn't matter what she says. He heard a weak woman. No. That's what he heard. He heard a weak woman that doesn't want to be a mom.
I heard I don't want to be a mom.
I heard I don't want to be a mom.
I heard
not once. I heard I don't want to be a single mom.
She sounds like Angelica's mom if she had fucking like a C-section. Like I can't work this week. I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that I can't work and just milk it. You know, I know. Listen, I'll put it to you like this. Mm-hmm. That little sentence, I ain't gonna lie to you, that makes me sound like I hate women. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, absolutely.
But I know men, right? Put my hands in front of the camera. I know men who have had to live with women who have gone through postpartum depression. Sometimes that shit lasts 2 to 4 fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think it is.
I do not know anybody that had to deal with a man deal with a woman that's gone through postpartum. I know no one.
I know a bunch, actually. I know like at least 3.
That's
you know
very sad.
And what I can tell you is, in that first year, it's one hard as fuck to watch your partner go through that shit.
You don't have to describe it. I know. I've read up on it just to prepare for it.
Between all of the men that I spoke to, they all want to leave. You get what I'm saying? But you can't. They're not even married sometimes. But you get what I'm saying? They all want to leave. Why?
He
Because
did.
they have to juggle taking on doing
Everything.
everything.
Did they leave?
And then no.
That's what I wanted him to say. Because
No.
he did.
No, but
He was ready to dip.
Because once postpartum depression was over, they got back into the groove of things. When does she get back into the groove of being a mom? She goes back to work, right? After 9 months, really and truly, and you had to create. I know if you have a baby normally, you're not supposed to go back to normal behavior for fucking 6 months. You get what I'm saying? So you went back to work 3 months after, which means your medical problems couldn't have been that fucking bad, that dramatically worse. They couldn't have been, bro. Not if you're going back to work.
Well, she also stated that she was in and out of the hospital, so
For what? Nigga,
that means there are
if I
times when
break
she's
my
good and
leg,
there's
I
times
gotta
that
go
she's
back to the
bad.
hospital multiple times for scans. She's being incredibly vague on purpose. She wants
It's
us
not
all
even that. There's a billion things that could be wrong with you to put you in and out of the hospital.
Give me a name.
My man's had a sickness that literally had him in and out of the hospital. When he was out of the hospital, old boy was great, jumping fences with me and everything. And this is at a young age. I'm talking 15. We all had the body to run for an hour straight and only be tired for 30 seconds after. He had that body. And then when he went into the hospital, it was the most terrifying and sad thing I've ever seen. Like, I'm just like, how does the dude that just did this with me look like that? And then he get out the hospital and he actually looked nothing like what he looked like. But this is a real person. This is a real medical condition he had. And this is somebody I was really around on a daily basis, all the way up until he passed away. And then when he passed away, they said why he passed away. And I knew, I got to see it firsthand. So I'm like, well, shit, I guess it finally caught up with him. But at no point when he was out of the hospital, up until like getting closer to his passing, was he like not able to do anything. Whenever he was out, he was good. He was moving. He was shaking. He held a job. In fact, he held a job, got sick, went in, came back, and went back to his regular job and blah, 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 blah. So when she says I'm in and out of the hospital, for you to say there's no way that she could have been.
There's no way. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying it's impossible.
For even you to say it's improbable. I know you didn't use that exact word, but for you to say anything related to it's improbable is crazy because
it is
she could have
likely that she doesn't have as serious of a condition as she's leading us on to believe.
But how can we know that?
We can't know that. But
so why would we say likely?
So again, I have to believe everything she's saying at 100% accuracy to
accuracy.
At 100% accuracy to take her side in the argument. He's not here to defend himself, so I'm simply saying, well, what if this, what if that? I know for this man. The story is either.
You're not saying that, Mike.
The story is either.
He's not saying.
The story is
what
either,
if. He's
saying
guaranteeing these things.
I'm saying.
You're not saying what you're saying. This is because this is what's happening. She's lying.
What I'm saying is, I believe that she is omitting certain details so that we take her side, not us specifically, but the.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
3 sides to every story.
I think that
that's
he is
always going to be
divorcing
true.
her because she is an inactive parent. And that I believe that because before she even got pregnant, she made it very clear, I don't want to be a single mom. Not I don't want to be a mom, I don't want to be a single mom. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then now you get sick. Okay, cool. Let's say you're the world's greatest fucking mom. You get
being sick.
I as your husband, and I'm not saying this is right. I'm not married yet. I'm engaged. You guys are married. Your opinion is probably going to be the same opinion I have later on.
To be engaged, you're in that. You can be in that mindset.
At the moment, right? What I will say is, if you're not happy with someone, you're doing yourself and them a disservice by staying with them, right? So you have to watch your partner deteriorate and become this whole different person who you did not fall in love with. You get what I'm saying? Kids change people. I think firmly that he saw this woman be a bad mom, and she used the excuse of I'm sick to justify why she can't do certain things. Whether it be having the child live in your fucking house is too much for you. You get what that is too much for you. Having the child stay in your house.
That's such a stretch on a belief.
It's not because she says.
I was actually slightly going towards the you can't. I'm not going to believe everything that they say. I was leaning towards that, but to say that she hasn't. That's a bigger indicator. She has to say something for that level of something to be. She said in the beginning she doesn't want to be a single mom, and then she had the baby, but then she got sick. So, she can't even be in the same house as the mom. Bro, where did that come from? That's huge.
She says she doesn't want to be the primary parent, and she is willing to take the child every other weekend. Not every other week, not for half of the month. Every other weekend. That's 4 days out of the fucking month. That means the child does not live with you.
If I got to be in the house with this child, why would I even take her at all?
Your reasoning being you can't take care of a child on your own, right? So even if we
Yeah.
split the custody 50-50, the child can't stay with you for a week. For 2 weeks out of the month, she got to stay with me. 4 weeks out of the month while you get 2 weekends? That's
That was pretty
wildly unfair.
specific for her
But-
saying every other weekend. That
Exactly.
was very
But
specific.
if I can't be in the same house as this own kid, I'm not suggesting
But
any
that's not what
weekends,
she
bro.
said.
I'm not
She
suggesting
said,
no
I
weekends.
can't provide for this child. If you can afford a home for your fucking self, you can afford a place for your child.
Bro, provision is not just money.
No, she did say she'll provide. She
yeah,
said, I
she
love
did.
her.
No,
She said, I love her, and
by
I'll
giving
provide
money
her.
to the person who's taking care of the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, first off, providing is far from just money.
We got
It's far-
6 minutes left on the camera.
Providing is far from just money. In fact,
agree.
people that provide mentally, emotionally, in that sense, do more for someone than they do just giving them money. And that's always going to be
Completely
100%. But at the same time, with everything you're saying, it's still a big jump to go to a root to the root problem being it's so bad. She has the idea of motherhood being so bad that she couldn't even be in the same house
let's back
as the
up 1
person.
second, right?
That's a big ass
Let's back
creation.
Up 1 second. She's willing to take the child every other week and pay child support. So the financial provision is not the problem.
No.
Now,
She actually makes more than him
Why
in
can't
another
she
comment.
take the child and then accept child support? She does not want to be a parent. There's no argument about that with me. Like, for me, she just doesn't want to be a parent.
She made it clear she doesn't want to be a single mom.
She doesn't want to be a parent.
And she doesn't want to be the primary parent. She
doesn't
said
wanna
those
be
two
a
things.
parent if she
Bro,
wants to be a
if I don't
parent.
want to be the parent, and this is coming from me perspective. You can say man's perspective or not. I don't care. If I don't want to be the parent, bro, I'm not going to be the parent. That's straight like that, period. I don't want to be the parent. There's no weekends. There's no couple weekends. And honestly, there's probably not even going to be any providing because in my head, I'm not the parent. I'm not this kid's parent. I ain't got nothing to do with this child. Why am I giving her money for this? That's stupid. That's what's going to be if I don't want to be a parent, period. I'm not taking the child on weekends, bro. I'm not taking the child at all. I'm not wanting to provide for the child. You could get maybe a chance of me saying I'll provide for the child, but for the most part, if I 100% do not want to be a parent, bro, you're not getting anything.
Here's
from
my
me.
question.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
Here-
she's the whole
cares about the
2
optics.
weekends.
What I'm
Look,
not
the
understanding.
Optics would have said a lot more than 2 weekends out of the month.
What I'm
that
not-
looks bad
I
regardless.
don't want to be a single mom. That's what all she can. I don't want to be known or seen as a single mom. Fuck
Go
how hard
hold
it
up.
is.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think she wants to be. I don't think it's an optics thing. I just think she doesn't want to go through the hardship of being a single parent, which is fine. People don't want to be single parents. Cool.
You're getting divorced
But
as a single parent.
Semantics.
my
We're
problem
not
is
talking. Go ahead. 'Cause I got a whole thing for that, but go ahead.
my problem is. I mean, what he's saying
Hold
semantics.
on,
Yes,
hold
single mom.
on. Just let y'all know, the cameras is dying and the
Yeah.
time is running low. So we're going to continue this at some point. I'm not saying the next video, but we're going to continue this at some point. Now, we're going to continue this off camera, but we're going to continue this at some
My
point.
question.
Go ahead.
My question is, she in another comment, somebody had said, had asked something, but she said that she makes more than him, and that he's home more. So obviously, a lot of it falls on him because he's home more. But my question is, why the fuck can't you take some of that extra money and get more help? If you feel like
More
being
help,
a
more help
single
in
mom,
the sense of what?
Daycare.
being a parent, if you're saying that
you
it,
said get more help, like
she's saying she doesn't
daycare?
want to be a single mom.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking she doesn't want to be a single mom because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do by yourself. But she's not going and trying any other avenue of helping herself, getting more help. You said you make more money, right? So go get more help. Maybe she doesn't have a support system. Maybe she doesn't have parents and sisters or whatever. But go put her in daycare, get her in-home nanny, something to help you relieve some of that hardship. But she's automatically taking the easy way out. Automatically.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
I never got to the point that I was going to get to because I guess I got brought around from the things that was said. But the one thing that I wanted to put down, and I wish I would have because it would have saved a lot of trouble for me, is forgetting the biggest part of all of this. Everything she's saying is a psychological problem. The biggest part of this is the psychological piece. She could literally, in fact, I'm going to do exactly what he did. She could literally not want to be a single mom, not because of the hardships, but because she's seen a single mom and it traumatized her. She could literally do that. I'm going to let it be known on camera. I cannot pee outside. Dudes do it all the time. In fact, for some reason, it's just a normal thing. My peoples, my family, was arrested for peeing in public, and he is literally a sex offender now. I want y'all to know where he peed was behind a couple trees off the highway, not near no houses, but the Stadies saw the car pulled over. They did not have to do that shit, but they did it. I'm not going to go deep into it. All I'm saying is I cannot do that. When asked of it, the fear gets deeper and deeper the harder it is to hold in the pee. The harder it is holding the piss, it has fucked me up that much when it comes to that thing. So these are two totally different things. Totally get that. But the one thing they have in common is a psychological fear that is unrealistic to a lot of people. Bro, you're not gonna get arrested if you pee outside. Well, have you ever seen someone get arrested if they pee outside?
Right.
I can almost guarantee you 90% of the people you know are gonna be like,
you be
nah.
one unlucky motherfucker that one time you're like, I gotta do it, and then woo!
But like, I want to say like 90% of the people you ask that question to is gonna be like, no, I ain't seen nobody get arrested. I've seen people pee next to other people outside in the alley, on front of this building, whatever. I'm be like, okay, have you ever seen someone pee in an actual remote area where everything we're talking about absolutely shouldn't have happened, and it happened? I have. So that's a thing that stuck with me, and I don't know, maybe it's because of what I have mentally and all that stuff. So, but I can guarantee you'd be one out of like 50 dudes if we asked that. I can guarantee it, because everyone I tell this, they're like, are you serious, bro? After I told them niggas was arrested, bro.
Hang on.
Are you crazy?
So,
But
hold on. Our viewers are going to be upset, but we're going to have to cut it.